I want to talk about this guy I met last summer.
Okay.
His name's Jeff. I'm going to come back. So this guy's name is Jeff Hoffman.
Okay.
He started Priceline.com and Bookings.com.
Oh, snap.
So if you look him up, he's wildly successful, and he knows a lot of very other wildly successful people. So he was the head speaker for this conference. It was a dev conference for like developers, and I was sitting at a table by myself. I didn't even know he was the speaker, and then him and his wife actually went to go sit down at the same table as me. So it's me and them two, and I'm just like being a normal human being, just like introduce myself, tell him my name is Zach and everything, and then he's like, I was like, what do you do? And he kind of chuckled, and he's a very down to earth, one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And so then we were just kind of talking, and we exchanged information, and then the conference started, and at some point they're like, we're gonna invite Jeff Hoffman, the head speaker, for the night. And then he gets up, and I'm like, wait a second. And this was right before I started Shorty's clothing brand, just to give you a little timeline.
Oh, wow.
And I realized you don't have to be, this egotistical, narcissistic type person in order to and have a lot, to be successful and have in terms of business and have money and all that type of stuff. And he wasn't. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met. And so I was trying to get a meeting with him I just want to meet him for coffee. I had no intentions of planning, like selling him anything. I was emailing him for 9 months. I was emailing him back and forth. Me and him were back and forth trying to get a meeting. He was always traveling. We got a meeting last week. I met with him at a coffee shop last week, and I brought him 2 Shorty's sweatshirts.
Wow.
And that's just, I wanted to do goodwill. I wanted to talk to him and learn from him. And, and he told me, I asked him questions about scaling a business and everything and how he did it. And he's like, talks about the biggest things that, for him at least, were culture. And he said his number one is people over profits. And I love that because I agree with that. My number one was customer service. And it kind of goes in the same, like, if you take care of your people, profits will never be an issue. Because, and then, he gave me this story where he talked about how one of his companies, there was a woman crying at her desk and no one went up to her, asked her anything if she's okay. The manager or whatever said, hey, what did she say? She said, we don't pay people to cry.
Wow.
And he let her go, the manager go, because that's not how you treat people. Man. You treat people with respect. You treat people, no matter who they are in your company, whether it's the janitor, the doorman, or the CEO or the vice president of the company. You got to treat people all with all the same respect. And that's what he kind of told me. You want to create that type of culture.